What's going on, garden nerds? Today I am sitting here in front of this Ruellia, otherwise known as Mexican Petunia, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about growing this awesome plant here in the deserts of Phoenix in Zone 9B. It is an awesome plant that you probably want to be growing in your yard, so stick around. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. There are many reasons why I love growing Ruellia. The first thing is it is so easy to grow. It takes little work. I never touch it and it just continues to grow and to spread. Very easy. Second reason is it puts out these beautiful flowers almost year round, especially this time of year. We are in October, the very beginning of October, and it is putting out tons of these flowers. So it constantly looks beautiful. And not only that, but pollinators love these flowers, so it attracts lots of pollinators to your yard. And to show you how easy it is, if you look at this shrub or this plant right back here behind me, I never touch it. It just continues to grow. The only thing I have to do is to trim it because it grows so easily. I have to constantly be trimming it back. But you can see right here behind me, this is a mango tree, so I have a mango growing up behind me, and this is kind of like the ground cover underneath where it shades and protects my mango tree. You can use it in a number of applications with a number of different trees to kind of shade the ground underneath it and give more sensitive trees that protection. So let's talk about the basics. You can go and buy this plant, but hold on, because at the end I'm going to show you how you don't have to buy it. It's very easy to propagate and it's very easy to transfer from one spot to another. But you can go and buy this plant really any time of the year, even in the middle of summer, though if you're a beginner gardener, I wouldn't recommend it, but really any time of the year, you can go and buy it and plant it in the ground. Once you plant it in the ground, give it some good water, and it is going to grow and to spread very fast. It's one of the fastest growing and spreading plants that I have in my yard, and that's here in our desert Southwest. It's not a slow growing thing. In fact, some people will complain and say it spreads too much. But again, I'm going to show you how you can just simply dig it out and go replant it somewhere else. So expect a fast growing plant if you decide you want to put this in your yard. And the cool thing about this is it can take full sun. You'll see it in many landscapes, HOAs, things to that nature in full sun. It can also take filtered sun as well. It can survive in a decent amount of shade. I have this plant not only here where it gets a decent amount of shade, but I have it over here as well where it gets more sun, and then I have it over there where I'll show you in a minute where it gets even more shade, and it thrives in all different locations. So that is something that instantly makes me like a plant, when it can thrive and survive in many different sun exposures and microclimates. It's one reason of the many why you should probably plant it in your yard. One thing to think of though, and to consider when you plant it, and probably the number one complaint you're going to hear from people, is it does spread. It's not just going to sit there contained and not move. It is going to continue to send up shoots and move and grow and expand from where you initially planted. So if you don't like that, make sure you put it in a contained area where you're not worried about it spreading to other parts of your yard or garden where you don't want it. But again, worst case scenario, it starts popping up where you don't want it. You can easily dig it out and throw it away, or easily dig it out and plant it in another location. And when it comes to winter and frost protection, you don't have to worry. Again, it's one of the most carefree plants you can plant. You really don't have to worry about it getting too cold in the winter. Just let it be, it'll survive, it'll be just fine. When it comes to planting Ruellia or Mexican Petunia, it's very simple. You don't need all the fancy amendments. Really all you have to do is dig a hole literally as deep as the root ball, as the container that it comes in, and as wide. Put it in there, put some good compost on top, and you are good to go. It doesn't have to be difficult. When we plant other things, like things that aren't native here, fruit trees, tropicals, things to that nature, it's a little more complex how we prepare the holes and plant them. But with this, dig a hole just big enough to put it in the ground, cover it up, put some good compost on it, and you are good to go. Very simple. And right after you plant it, just like when you plant anything, you want to make sure that the root ball, where all those roots are, stay moist. You don't want to overwater them, but you want to make sure that they don't dry out. And then after you do that process, so you may, if you plant it in the middle of the summer, you may have to come out and give it a little bit of water every single day. Again, just making sure that the root ball doesn't dry out. Once you've done that for a few weeks, you can start to slowly spread out the amount of water you're giving it, and soon you can go to a deep watering once a week. That's it. With this here right behind me, because I'm watering my mango trees and other things back behind, I don't give this Ruellia any direct water at all, and it does just fine because it's pulling from the other things. So not water intensive. They're not water hogs. They don't take tons of water. Once you get it established, after it's been planted for a month or two, just a good deep watering once a week. And after that, you can honestly, once it's really, really established, you can probably get away with the deep watering every 2 weeks and it will be just fine. And when it comes to feeding and fertilizing it, it doesn't require much. Throw a few handfuls of compost down every few months and it's going to be just fine. You really don't need to do anything else fancy or special. And when it comes to pruning, really any time of the year when it starts spreading too much or when it gets too tall, you can hack it however you want. There's no rhyme or reason. Again, guys, this plant is very, very easy to maintain. Prune it as much as you want, as low to the ground or as high to the ground as you want, and it will do just fine. In some areas of my yard, I let this grow pretty tall, but every few months when it's growing too tall and it's kind of shading my mango tree too much, I come in and I cut it in half and it reacts just fine, it survives just fine, and it grows even more and produces tons of awesome flowers. So don't really worry about how and when and how much to prune it. You can prune it anytime you want. Okay, so now let me show you how you can easily propagate and get free Ruellia or Mexican Petunia. So if you have any friends that live close by and they have this, don't go to the nursery and spend money on it. Just ask them if you can come and trim it up for them and then take those home. So here's what I did. A few weeks ago, I came and I simply cut off a bunch of different branches here, as you can see. These are all of them. I put it in a vase, just like this, with some water, put it on my windowsill in my kitchen, and I haven't touched it since. And now, look what happened. Look at that. Look at all of these roots. They're all here kind of grown together, but look at all of these roots that grew off of this. So now I can take each cutting and I can simply plant this in the ground. Like I said earlier, water it every day for the next week or so. And after that, go to a deep water and boom, I have free Mexican Petunia that I didn't have to pay any money for. And let me show you what else I did, another way that you can easily clone this plant and plant it in other places in your yard. So here's another area in my yard where I have this growing. Here it gets a lot more sun than where we just were, but you can see here, this is what I'm talking about when it spreads. This was where the main plant was, but it continues to spread here and root itself, as you can see here, into the ground. So I'm just gonna pull this just so you can see. It's put roots into the ground. What you can do is get a shovel, really just a hand shovel, and kind of dig out to get as many roots as you can. And then you take that, and this is what I did over here. You take that and you simply plant it in the ground right here. I did that here. This is 1 week old and it's looking just fine. Here's another one where I did the same thing and it's doing great. And then here is another one. So you can do it either by trimming it and putting it in a vase and letting it grow roots, or just dig it out of the ground and plant it right there in the ground. And let me show you what I mean by getting more shade. Over here, it gets quite a bit of shade. It's here under the orange jubilee. It's here under this lime tree. But these larger plants are thriving and looking awesome. And then here's where you saw me sitting right here under the mango tree. So here's the mango tree and it's growing awesome. Gets a little more sun than over here. And then here, you can see this just keeps growing and coming back. It gets lots of sun here and it's doing just fine. So that's what I mean. It can survive in many, many different places in your yard. So if you're looking for an easy plant that's beautiful, easy to maintain, has flowers that are attractive to pollinators, and will grow in really any condition in your yard, Mexican Petunia Ruellia is what you want. Go out and buy it, but first check with any friends and see if they have it. Go get some go get some cuttings, go dig some out of the ground, and you can have it free in your yard. Now's a good time to plant because any time is a good time to plant it. If you have any questions about this awesome plant, comment below. Happy to answer them. Happy planting. We'll see you in the next video.